Hi and welcome to Down the Shed. I've already soldered one of these jumper cables in. What I'm going to do now is put the next one in, and then I'll do the others without you and just point out where they go. So and it was handy that I had a couple of jumper wires from the last project which didn't actually need it. There we go, that's enough on there for now. As I said, we can tidy it all up once we get the LEDs on. It's just enough to hold them in situ. Now we have one, that's jumper 1, jumper 2, jumper 3, jumper 4, and I think 5 was down here somewhere. I'll have to have a look at, there it is, just jumper 5. So that a little bit of a flat. Make sure it's not going to impede any of those LEDs. There we go. Quick peek under the magnifier. And that's 2 of the jumpers in. So I'm going to do the others. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so what we've got so far is jumper 1, 2, 3, jumper 4 and jumper 5. Because the instructions tell us to start with the jumper cables, then go on to the resistors, the diodes, capacitors, electrolytic capacitors, then the LEDs, then the voltage regulator, which I thought was a transistor. It's a 78L05. Then the trimmer, a variable resistor, 4K7, 5K. 3 switch push buttons, 1, 3 and 4, so don't ask me what happened to switch 2, the IC and the power jack. And then tells us to do the battery holder, and the display you will actually have to glue on with a little display. I don't know if that makes a lot of difference really. I think it does. I can't remember. I've done something similar, or when I'll fit these in, it's basically, if I get you the right way up, you basically look in R1, R2, R3, R4, R5, all in a nice little line there. So they're obviously controlling LEDs. And we'll come back. Right, I have cut these leads back slightly, and they're all populated into the board now. So we'll just pop these in for this job. Right, so there we have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 resistors, all 330 ohm. Lovely job there. So let's clip the ends of those leads down. I'll let you see the last one. There we go. So that's the 330 ohms. R7, R8, R9 are 0 ohm. So 7, 8 and 9 are 0 ohm. So let me get rid of this bit of blue tack. And there we have so far. So we've got our 6 resistors and our 5 jumper cables. So R7, 8 and 9 are 0 ohm, denoted by the single black stripe. Let's get them tapped in. Let's get this last one tacked up. That's R7, 8 and 9 is 0 ohms. Snip them off. Remove the blue tacky. Lovely job. So there we have it, the board so far. The 5 jumper cables, the 6 330 ohm resistors and the 3 0 ohm resistors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Zener diodes. Wow. Okay, what the heck? Let's put these 4 in. So we have 10 here, 11, 12, and 13 over here. So this one's 13. They are all 2K2 red, red, red gold. So I need to mount them. So I think I'll do these 4 and then call it a night for this video. So far, do the rest tomorrow. Right, so that's the last 4 tacked in. Let's just snip the ends off. So we have it, and the 4 2K2s in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hi guys, so my other phone let me down in the middle of populating this board, so I'll just quickly run you through what we currently have. The 6, 5 there, 1 there, 330 ohm resistors, orange, orange, brown, gold multiplier. We've got the 30 ohm black stripe, single black stripe there. Then we've got the 4 red, red, red 2K2s, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've also fitted, I think that's D1, yeah, D1, 2, 3, ooh, magnetic 4, and just hiding behind these 2 capacitors here is D5. Now you'll see on the diodes there's a white band on one end of the component. It really wants to pop out, doesn't it? White band on one end of the component, like that when you see it. That denotes the particular polarity. These are dependent. The electricity flow one way, the diodes. Some can let it reverse at a certain voltage. Don't ask me how, I'm not anywhere near that level. But let's back to what we're doing. The black band on the end of the diode corresponds to the shaded part. Now here, same with these, let's get the tweezers, put that back. If I put one of these electrolytic capacitors out, you'll see there's a shaded side. Let's get the camera. See the back, like that band there, and it says minus, and then you just have a normal side. Now the long lead, you'll see, oh, I've got to try and get used to where the camera is. The long lead is always positive. Now on these 2, the positive's on the outside, so this positive's this side and this positive's this side. So do be aware on things like that you don't just chuck them in. Also, there's a shaded area on the capacitor. If the capacitor's supposed to sit up tall, like these, it'll be a circle with a semicircle shaded for the negative. So pop that back down. Quick drink of Radnor Fizz Apple Audi. It's not bad actually. So also we've got the 100 NF and the 22 PF ceramics in, plus these 2 that I've just said. I'm skipping the LEDs and I'm jumping straight to, I'm going to do the LEDs as a block last. 3 jumper wires in amongst the LEDs. There's one here and there's one there as well. Nearly forgot to mention those. So that's where we are at the moment. So what I'm going to do is, I think I'll pop this, I thought it was a transistor, but we'll pop this a voltage regulator. It is listed on there as VR1. Just bend the outer legs out slightly. And then it makes them easier to kind of sprawl across like that. So again, this is obviously you can't get the middle leg wrong, it's in the middle, but the 2 outer ones, I think it's the base and the collector. I think the middle's the emitter, I'm not sure. flat end on the transistor or voltage regulator goes with the flat on the board, and then the round, or sometimes you get like a 3 flat sided, always goes on the circular side. That keeps you from getting it wrong. Right, I'm going to tack these down quickly. Right, I've turned my light out for a sec, so I think it gives you a better view of the board. In fact, I can see it, but it's a bit of a bugger. I've just took the liberty to snip the legs down a bit. It just makes it easier to navigate the iron around the board without massive legs in the way. I nearly took that one a bit short there, but it's good enough. I think we'll put the trimmer in. The resistor, a variable. It doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me what the value is. It's a 78L05. I can tell you that though. We could Google it, couldn't we? Hey Google. Okay Google. Oh, it won't work because I'm recording on it. Duh. I'm making a balls up of this, aren't I? Right, edit. Right, we'll pop in this variable resistor. When I get it in the tweezers. There we go. Now they do supply a little leg for turning that. You can use a screwdriver or a torque bit. I wonder how many of those, swamping out, get ready for the light. I wonder how many of those got lost within the first 5-10 minutes of opening the kit. I'll turn it out again for you. Right. I don't think that's going to, yeah it is. Blue tack. Blue tacky please. I either use blue tack or masking tape. I find blue tack kind of works better in my opinion. If you've got a hot component and it leaves itty bits of blue tack behind, just give it 30 seconds a minute to cool off, if that. Get a cold piece of blue tack and dab it against the board, and I guarantee it'll be clean as a whistle in a heartbeat. Righty ho. Because everyone needs a good, no, let's not go there. Right, so this is the power, so we'll bung that in. Will we bung that in? Over here. Excuse me, I need the light a minute. Swamp out. Well, I guess it goes on that way then, because it wouldn't fit otherwise. I was trying to face the power outlet towards me. I think you do need a power source for this. The battery is only a backup, I think. Just remembers the store, which is a shame, really, because it can run on 9 to 12 volts. Why not just? Well, we'll see. I'm garbling. Cut. Right, we'll blue tack that down. I think we'll solder from here. So iron on. And I'll be back in a moment. Alright, let's turn this over. I'm not going to use the tiny solder on that. I've got some tiny solder out of a... came with one kit I had. And Mrs. found it earlier. So I'll see how it goes. I'm not going to use much of it. Only this bit that I've taken off actually. Can't remember what kit it came with. It's one of my really early ones when I started soldering again. It's like fishing, I have little phases. I haven't been fishing since I started my old job. So that's about 18 months. 20 months actually. I do have an open window right behind us, courtesy of my air rifle really. When you shoot at targets, remember what's behind them. I know there's a bloody great fence behind my shed, but well, these are going nicer today anyway. I've definitely calibrated my soldering iron on one of those videos. Well, I'd already calibrated it before I did the video, but actually I think I did it on the video. Right, so that's all soldered into place. The wires have been snipped, so we just peeled the blue tack off. Remember next time to solder the variable resistor. Right, my phone's about to die, so I'm probably right. There's a bit of stuck over blue tack there. Just dab it, and it's all gone. Let's get this resistor variable popped on, and the camera will probably run out. Where is it? I can't even see. There it is. That's why I missed it. I couldn't even bloody see it. There we go. She's nicely in. Right. The phone light is actually providing the light on this one, which is better for you but worse for me. Okay, so while you've been away, or while my camera died and before I got this old backup one out, I've fitted the 3 switches. They're quite simple they're like putting this power one on, just give them a really dollop of solder, hold them in place, fit them in nicely, let it flow. And I've put the chip holder in, so that's there. Damn phone. Picking up updates I've already had from the other phone. So literally all we've got left to do now is get these LEDs in. So what I'm going to do is stop the video, get a few in, I'll solder a few, and then I'll do the rest and come back when it's only the last couple. I will use this 2032. I'm going to have to order more red blooming clear LEDs. If I find one. There we go. I will use this 2032 battery just to check that they're all correct. And I'm guessing that the hash is the short leg because it's got the flat side. Just on the board here you can see that there's a flat edge on that side of the LED. Now on most LEDs around, but there should be on the shorter lead a little flat spot which denotes the negative. So I'm actually going to put one of these in. I'll solder that in and probably fire this up just to see if that one does anything. Okay, so I'm just waiting for the glue gun to heat up. This is the next day again. All the LEDs are in. The battery holder's been clamped down. You've got 3 screws that go on the front of the board, going self-tappers into the plastic. So she's all good, she goes. Grab a quick battery. So she works. Let's get this in a decent view. Let's get it right way up. Oh god, I'll press them up. Let's turn it back off. Give it power again. Right, now this is where modifying your own kit comes in badly. So as you can see, I can't exactly clamp this onto there because the LEDs are too tall. So when you're making somebody else's kits and you decide to modify it, I suggest that you check. You can see the difference in the LED size there, look, half the height. Plus they're smaller, so there would be a bit more distance between them, which I think would make viewing the letters on there a lot easier. So I will invest in a second one of these, and I will make it to VELLEMAN specifications and use their bag of LEDs and do it properly. Now the only issue I did have with this one yesterday was I had 3 LEDs not showing up to the party, so I figured out that by putting a jumper wire on between the negative of the bottom LED, and it was these 3 here that didn't work. So I've gone off the negative of this one, and they've decided to come to the party. So let's get this top glued in. I'm going to use my hot glue gun, and what I'm going to do is, what I should have done was put a new glue stick in. What I'm going to do is actually glue it off the top of the LEDs so it's still in roughly the right place, and I think we will have another glue stick on that. Let's have a look. This was designed to fit into the top of the board, and then just a little dab of glue slots over. But in this case, we're going to have to glue off the LEDs themselves. So that's it. Let's have a look what it looks like on the video. Can't see it. So there we go. Now, I mentioned in yesterday's video, how long do you think it is before one of those little sticks gets lost? And hey, guess what? Yep, that's right. Between here and the house. So don't know if that's working. Let's try now. So there's slow. That's slowish. I love mini kits. Okay, there's something weird going on. Okay, it seems like I've now broken it somehow. There we have it. And we've got it going quite slowly. I think fast's better, and it actually looks a lot better from a longer distance. So that's the VELLEMAN MK124 rolling message, or I call it a scrolling message. So yeah, quite pleased with that. I think we will do it to spec next time and get it done standard. The gap between the LEDs, I think, would make a lot of difference with those smaller LEDs. So have fun, keep experimenting. You only live by, you only learn by doing and from your mistakes.